But redoing and improving content seems to be a similar thread through all those people. So I know a lot of SEOs, and like literally 80% of their job, I'd say, is just kind of going and redoing articles, which sounds boring as whatever, but it is kind of the secret sauce.
Yeah, or killing content. I think that's increasingly, as we're getting more mature, as you kind of talked on, one of the things we do for some clients who come in is content audits. Is you look at them and you look at what kind of pages have no traffic or no links that are old and they have no other value to you. You could, in many instances, just 404 of those pages and your other pages will lift because those aren't doing anything for you. And it's kind of like an equation of links against the number of pages on your site. But updating is for sure an equation too. Like one of the things we recommend is looking at the search results. And if you see everything has been updated, again, we keep talking copywriting software. If the dates all say in the last month, you should aim to be in the top 25 percentile of that to be competitive because users probably are showing, hey, I want modern copywriting software. I'm more likely to click you because you clearly are more likely to have the most updated content. But there are spaces like how to garden or something. You'll see articles that are like the spread on the search result is like 4 years. So you don't necessarily need to update all day and all night. That doesn't hurt to be modern, but it's not as important as like iPhone 12 reviews or something like that, which will probably be 24 hours or less.
And you want to, what are your thoughts on the current trend of like modern gardening techniques, updated 2020?
Spammy is, I mean, you can typically tell depending on.
Well, here's the thing. It kind of works, right?
It depends on the space. I think Google is kind of showing you that it might not in some of those instances. And there is a brand piece of that equation. I market to marketers. So if I use that technique, I'm going to turn off enterprise customers by doing that. I'm not saying the gardeners will do that. It might be effective there, but there's just something, if you land on that page, and I've had that happen, you land and you actually see there's some shears that are outdated or something, or the old product, you lose brand or like affinity for that company. So use that sparingly. I think people overuse that. And I think that's increasingly the recommendation now is you shouldn't even like go and just quickly update the date. You need to do full, like I call it a quality assurance sweep, like what really deeply look at this, make real changes in order to justify changing that date. Because Google is also getting smarter. I've seen sites that change the date like almost programmatically, and more of those sites are just getting dinged. And
it seems like a tactic that'll go away.
Yeah,
at some
I think
point.
it already kind of has, honestly. Yeah, there was a phase where it was super abused. I remember Viper Chill even wrote an article about it. I'm pretty sure.
Shout out to Glenn.
Yeah, and now I don't think you see it as often where literally the top 10 results are like literally all past 24 hours.
Because I was seeing it for a short period of time where like everything was like updated 2020, updated mid 2020, updated post pandemic, all that kind of stuff. Some of that stuff I actually think like maybe could work a little bit but for the most part, it seems like a tactic that will get axed. I remember the whole clickbait phase we went through in 2012, 13 of like, you will best farming trick. You won't believe what he does, ... It's very grabby, but you do not see those anymore because they are essentially eliminated from any sort of search results, social or organic results.
Yeah, agreed.
It's gone.
That's kind of my default with any strategy is if it feels dirty, don't do it. Like today you see people with these like FAQ things under search results that to me don't make sense in context long-term for those search results to just have a random people also ask question thing. You might've seen it, but that I don't personally recommend that to clients because it doesn't actually make sense. It shows up, but it doesn't make sense. So I have concerns about the long-term viability.
One thing I always tell people is just like, look, SEO, like the technical side of it is to help the computer. So if you're going for copywriting software, if your thing is called, ross.com/copywriting-software, that helps Google say, okay, we're pretty sure this is about copywriting software. And then if your title says that in there too, they'll be like, okay, we're really almost sure that this is about copywriting software. But that stuff is for the computer. That stuff is for robots. The actual content should be for humans. If humans consume your content really well, then the robot will be happy. Right?
Yes, agreed. Yeah. And increasingly, you can't solve. Those are just like the very basic things, and it's solving for the humans is the hard part.
So going back to the redoing and improving content topic, is that something y'all do frequently? Like, is there like a period of time, like after 12 months, you're like, okay, we got to go and re-update it or anything?
Yeah, kind of going back to, we have an article on our website I call it Freshness Distance. It's like, what is the distance on the search result between those dates? So that should tell you how often you need to update something. So you don't want to just to update it, but if you're feeling outdated on that search result, that's one way of doing that. We definitely do it for old posts, especially for ones that are highly, highly effective for us and we know they're competitive. We'll preemptively say, let's do a refresh of this article, maybe get new stats, new data. So we will do that probably in the 12 months plus range for a campaign. We'll start thinking about refreshes.
So I recently changed my domain from Copywriting Course with K's, which I loved, but for certain reasons we had to get rid of, to Copywriting Course with C's. Whenever you start saying stuff like the Copywriting Course community and they're all with K's, you can imagine where this goes. It gets a little bit dicey. Yeah, and it's actually been a problem. So anyways, we changed domains. So I'm not really worried about, we had good SEO before and then we kind of had to like let that trail off while we made the domain change. Have you ever had, because you do this at scale, is there a fun way to go redo content? Have you ever thought about that? Because it sounds like a very boring task sometimes.
My idea of fun these days is the UX redesign of the whole site. It's not like on the per page basis. It's like, how can we blanket 10x, maybe 10x is a strong word, but like 5x improve what this site is doing. So on a per post basis, it's a little harder. Of course, you have so many illustrations to things like that. So if you updated your blog design as well and did something different, you'd probably have to wholesale go change everything. So that actually stops a lot of people from ever doing redesigns. But I don't have a great answer for you there other than that.
Well, what about this? I thought it'd be fun. I was going to think about, so I like this idea of like collaborative copy. Okay. We've done a lot of surveys on the site. So we're putting up a bunch of freeway signs right now in San Francisco for a guy's gym. Okay. Like, yeah, we're just like, this would be a fun experiment. So we like outsource that to the crowd to see what he should say on the signs, right? Okay. So it was just more fun to involve other people, the mind of the crowd, rather than just a couple of us. So I was just like, I wonder if there's a way to do like collaborative copy for going through each post and like updating, or like a core content month review. I don't know. I was trying to make it fun, but it just sounds like y'all do this after 12 months.
I think those are good strategies at scale for our clients. It's a little more difficult, but like in your situation, I do love the strategy of including people socially and then changing it. That's a built-in distribution network. I see it all the time where people will like run a survey. We'd love to include your opinions on this post on social. Some influencers see that, they contribute, then you update the post. You can now reach out to those people. It's built-in distribution mechanism that's very simple and effective, super effective. Yeah. And it's not like spammy ego bait, like I was the best copywriter. It's you contributed to this post in a useful way.
Yeah. I had Nomadic Matt in here. He runs like a huge travel site. And he was talking, they have like 2,000 plus posts. And for travel, you definitely need to be updating all the time because like hostels go in and out of business all the time. And
today's world,
especially with what's going on in the world
Everything's
today.
Outdated, bro.
So I remember I got like almost like anxiety thinking about updating 2,000 posts about travel. I was like, oh my God, you have to do this? He's like, 80% of our time spent writing is just updating posts.
Yeah, I mean, at certain thresholds too, some verticals, there's only 200 posts. Like I think of one thing that comes to top of mind is referral software. It's like this company, I forget the name of it actually, but basically they made it easier for people to refer that business, almost like an affiliate thing for businesses. But there's only so many topics around referral software. It's like referral marketing ideas, referral marketing.
How to do referral marketing.
Yeah, there's like 20. So you want to make those absolutely amazing. And that was the strategy. It was like, go super big, make this defensible, and then just update those. But if you're in wedding, you're the knot, there's thousands of posts. It might be a little harder, but at least those are evergreen. So it might be a little more over time. You got to make those changes.